Thank you. I'll have the first 7 minutes. Minister, when you were appointed as Minister of Artificial Intelligence and Digital Innovation a year ago, Prime Minister Carney did not give you a mandate letter specific to your brand new ministry. Instead, the PM only gave you and all your cabinet colleagues the same general, vague 2.5-page mandate letter. It's not really a business-like approach from this government on that. So without a specified mandate for your newly created cabinet portfolio, how can the Canadian public know what the Prime Minister expects you to achieve in this position? Your general mandate letter does say this, quote, "Over the coming weeks, I will look to each of you to identify the key goals and measures of success on which to evaluate the results you will achieve for Canadians as a member of the ministry," unquote. So since you did receive that letter almost a year ago, what was your response to the PM? And please provide us with a copy of your response, as this should be available to Parliament and the Canadian public.
Minister.
Senator, thanks for the question. We're very proud that, first of all, the Prime Minister created the very first Ministry of AI and Digital Innovation, recognizing the importance of focus on this issue and the impact it's going to have on our economy and our country. The mandate letters were a reflection on the Prime Minister's approach that he was very transparent about, and the key goals that we have as a government and to build, empower, and protect. And we, as ministers, have responded to that. You will see in our national strategy that part of my mandate to renew that national strategy early. You have seen a number, Senator, of strategies, a defense industrial strategy, an auto strategy, a nature strategy, and you will see very soon an AI national strategy that will respond to the core concerns, and not just concerns, but the as I outlined in my opening remarks, the mandate to make sure we're building in Canada with sovereign AI, protecting Canadian citizens, but making sure that we take a leadership stake in the world. And you will see that with our national strategy and, of course, renewing our legislation to finally, we hope, pass a renewal and an updating of our privacy laws.
Like to receive a copy of that response to the Prime Minister, and I'm sure all parliamentarians would like to receive that as well. I'll go on, though. There are only 2 vague mentions of artificial intelligence in that entire general mandate letter. One of those mentions says, quote, "Government itself must become much more productive by deploying AI at scale." What does that phrase mean, deploying AI at scale? And what are your government's projections for how many federal public servants will lose their jobs after they're replaced with AI?
Minister.
I appreciate the question. First of all, it is absolutely imperative as a government, and I know you share this concern, Senator, to serve Canadians better. Our job is to serve Canadians better and to make sure that we're doing it in as efficient a way as possible so the dollars go to Canadians, not to the operations of government. That is exactly why the Prime Minister not only appointed me, but also appointed Joël Lightbound as the Minister of Government Transformation. It is exactly why he has talked about setting up an Office of Government Transformation. It is exactly why we have made sure that we have new procurement policies to make sure that we buy Canadian and Canadian technology. It is exactly also why I did an MOU signed also not only by me, but by Joël Lightbound and Treasury Board to make sure that we are using strategic companies like Cohere or like Coveo, and there will be others, to make sure that we're using the best tools we have according to Treasury Board regulations in a safe, secure, reliable manner, but to make sure that we're serving Canadians as efficiently as possible, using Canadian technology, supporting Canadian innovation, but making sure that we serve Canadians. And that's why you've seen things like CanChat or GC Translate or other aspects where we are making sure that we're using the technology in a way that enhances service to all Canadians.
provide us if you don't have those projections today. I'm sure your government does have that, but I think federal public servants and Canadians deserve to know that answer about how many of them could potentially lose their jobs because of AI. Also, I could not find a lot of information about what underpins your brand new ministry. It seems like you do not have a deputy minister per se, but instead an official with who is associated with the Privy Council office. You apparently receive some support from the Department of Industry, yet it appears that there are only a few bureaucrats that are directly associated with you. Meanwhile, it also appears that you have about 17 staff in your ministerial office. So, Minister, is it true that your ministerial office staff is potentially several times the number of very small bureaucracy that's actually assigned directly to you?
Sure.
Thank you. And Senator, I am delighted to hear that you are expressing concern that there's too few bureaucrats working, and that you are expressing concern that we're perhaps not using the resources and maybe using technology to be more efficient. But look, we are working closely. This ministry is under the Department of ISED, as well as the Minister of Industry, the Minister of AI and Digital Innovation. We are served by a remarkable team of public servants who have given us full support. Here with me today, Mark Shan, Deputy Minister. We have access and full support, I assure you, from a remarkable group of hardworking, intelligent, innovative public servants who have given us nothing short of superb service. And the clerk of the Privy Council, Michael Sabia, who has deep experience in making sure that we are not only getting the best out of our public servants and making sure that the best public servants are doing the job to serve Canadians. And I will say I also have confidence with my political staff that you mentioned, who are doing remarkable work. But again, I don't in any way want to disparage the work of the public servants who do phenomenal job. And I will also say you can do innovative, superb work and use innovative technology. Canadians expect the government to walk the walk, to use the tools that we're talking about to make sure they're efficient, and our public servants are open, willing, and innovating with those same tools to serve Canadians better. Thank you.